Okay, we're gonna watch Lionheart. He's playing Cassidy on Suravasa. This is Platinum 3 on PC. Been playing off and on since Overwatch 1 released and been stuck in Plat for a long time. I've recently been playing a lot of Cass because I've been focusing a lot on my hitscan mechanics outside of Soldier, as he's always been a bit of a crutch for me, so I'm wanting to branch out. And Cass has always been a hero I liked, but I've never been super consistent with. Same. These two codes are from my two recent losses where I played Cass. I think I played okay in both the games. I think I'm struggling most with is my awareness. I think I can play too aggressively and end up on my own and just die. Alright, so I've already seen this replay. It's actually fun doing Cass reviews now because I play Cassidy. In fact, after this review, I'm probably going to go queue up for rank and play Cassidy. And I think that my first take here is I think your aim is actually pretty good. I think it's better than your level for sure. I don't think your aim is a problem for climbing for now. Right? Eventually, yes, but like for now, not a problem. Like if you told me this is a diamond game, like just based on your aim, I don't think that I would be able to tell that this was platinum. I think it'd be like, yeah, no, that seems reasonable to me. I think your aim is not an issue, which is great, right? Because for some players it is, and it's obviously a huge hurdle. But your aim is not the problem here. You're probably running into a similar issue that I did playing Cassidy, which is Cassidy can theoretically clutch carry like any situation, but in reality, it's actually pretty hard to do that. And so situations where you're like, oh yeah, I can carry this, you can't, you just die. And Cassidy does not really have, despite his theoretical burst potential, I think that he's really best used in situations where either you can find really advantageous, consistent 1v1s that you can win, or just playing in an anchor position where you focus on staying alive and just constantly outputting damage pressure. So, to give you examples as like why compare and contrast Cassidy against other DPS heroes for a second, okay? Let's imagine Reaper, right? Reaper gives his team 0 value until he gets into position. And once he's in position, which is really close to the enemy on a squishy or a tank, then he starts delivering tremendous value. But the thing is, he's also in extreme danger. So from that moment, like once he's delivering a lot of value, he has a relatively small window to deliver that value to either win the fight, or he must then disengage with Wraith, right? Or sometimes you could use Wraith to reset for a second and continue the pressure. But the reality is, like Reaper gives you no value. Actually, let's just draw this as a graph, right? So value over time, okay? And so this will be Reaper, okay? So with Reaper, you get like no value out of him until all of a sudden you have massive value for a short period, and then if you don't win the fight, he drops down to being no value again, right? That's the general idea for Reaper. So let's think of somebody else like Widow, right? So for Widow, you get no value until you hit a headshot. I would actually say you get more value than Reaper though, because people will play differently. So you say more value than Reaper, and then if you hit a headshot, all of a sudden your value is like off the charts, right? Then if you keep whiffing, you go back to no value until you hit another headshot and you're off the charts, and then like that. And the question is, do you hit that headshot or not? And that's kind of the general feel for Widow. So let's think about it for Cassidy. Cassidy is pretty much always pretty good value all the time. Magnetic Grenade is not like a phenomenal ability or anything like that. I mean, it makes people play a little differently. Roll's obviously probably one of the worst mobility skills in the game. So Cassidy is just always like in this, he does good general value. And so when you're competing against other heroes that have much burstier, like, or I said spikier, that's the word I'm looking for, spikier value peaks than you do, your goal is for their value peak, right? For the moments where Widow is strong or Reaper is strong, I just need to make sure I don't die. Because whenever they aren't strong, I'm delivering more value. Okay? I think that's probably one of the best. I mean, and I don't play Cassidy at GM, so I can't say this for sure, but I feel like that's one of the best pieces of advice that I've given to myself is sometimes when other heroes are very strong, I keep trying to fight through it and being like, oh, let me match up against it. Like, let's say Venture's diving me, right? I'm like, oh, I could theoretically, like, 2-tap this Venture. Yeah, but, like, what the heck are the actual odds that I can do that? I should just kite the Venture and then go after the Venture later, or the rest of the team when the Venture is forced to run away, right? When they don't have their spike. You know, same thing for Widow, right? Before, I would even challenge Widows, even with the damage fall off. I'm like, well, I could, like, theoretically, like, triple headshot. Yeah, but what the heck are the odds of that? Like, the odds of me killing her are so much lower than the odds of her killing me. I should just, like, not take that angle, not contest her, and just get value in other ways. Because the Widow's gonna be frustrated if she can't get a clean shot at me, while conversely, I can find plenty of opportunities to shoot other people who are much closer to me, right? That's the general idea here, right? Which is, When others are strong, as Cassidy, I need to not be in a situation where they can take advantage of me. Because Cassidy has like the worst mobility. I would say of all the DPS heroes, is that true? I think I would say that Cassidy, I'm trying to think of anybody else who has worse mobility than him. I don't think so, right? Hanzo's leap is as bad, if not worse than Combat Roll, but Hanzo can climb, which can get him out of certain situations, right? So Torbjorn only has Overload, but Overload makes you pretty fast. So Overload can also get, and Tanky, which can get you out of situations, right? Soldier obviously has Sprint, Symmetra can teleport out, right? Mei has Block and Wall, right? Like Cassidy has like the worst, and this is one of the reasons why like, Cassidy generally has had terrible win rates historically, right? Because he has very limited defensive ability that is not like multi-headshot your way out of problems. So yeah, I think that's kind of the takeaway here is that your general perspective should be just stay alive, right? The longer the fight goes on, the better, generally speaking, it's going to go for me, assuming nobody is dead on my team, right? I'm going to get damage, I'm going to get value, I just need to stay alive. Right? Really, really important, just stay alive. So things are going to go awry. You're going to win the first point and you're going to lose all the ones after that. Things go awry when you die, and you die because you're forcing the issue, which I think you already kind of self-identified, that you're trying to be too aggressive when you really just need to play back. In particular, I think ult tracking is something that maybe you're not doing a great job of, but let's see. So we come out here, throw a sticky, right? Get some good shots on the junk, right? Everybody's forced to cover here. Bap jumps because he's crazy. Let's put out for a second, right? So you're already at the level where you realize this is a terrible mistake by the Bap, right? There's no reason for the Bap to jump like this because he's just going to die, like in the air or on landing. But this is relevant because later on you're going to fight some duels and you're going to start spamming jump. And I want you to remember this because you probably feel how easy it is to hit the Bap right now, but when you're jumping, you don't seem to think that also makes you easier to hit. But that's really important. Is like dueling is like really important for all DPS roles, but in particular for Cassidy, it's like absolutely critical. All right, Junk's over here. Yep, you get forced out a little bit. I would note right now that you could have died to an Ashe headshot, so be careful. You might want to slow down a little bit. One thing to think about whenever you're playing in a position is if I eat a headshot right now, not a Widow headshot, but like a Cassidy headshot, Ashe headshot, a Hanzo headshot, whatever it ends up being, would I regret where I am right now? Because, for example, if I'm this far away from a corner, if I get a headshot, I'm going to die. If I'm right here, let's say here, if I get a headshot, I'm good, right? I'm immediately going to get back to cover and I'm good. So think of that as a perspective of like if I'm safe or not is if I took a headshot right now, would I still be okay in my position? If not, then you probably shouldn't be playing there, right? Look at that Ashe. That Ashe is a really good example, right? So right now, she's going to eat this headshot. See how wide she is from the corner? So you could get one more, you do get one more shot here before she gets back to the corner. If that shot was on target, a body shot, she dies. But if she was playing here to begin with, she would never have been in danger of dying because she would have gotten behind cover before your second shot landed. Right? This is like a really good example of how important it is to play closer, tighter to corners. That way you don't risk dying when like surprising things happen. All right. So generally, not a lot happening here. I think I'm going to skip through. Right? You're just sitting here, right, poking out, looking for the auto. It's good. Like, so don't obsess on the ball. Dodge sleep dart. So, yeah, you fan. It's fine. Okay, well, obviously you missed that one because he gets hooked, but we're fine. You drop on the off angle here, which I think is okay. You didn't know what was going on down here. At higher ranks, there's a possibility they could swarm you here, but I think at this point, I think this is fine. All right, junk dies. Okay. All right, nothing super exciting. I don't think they really get a contest here. I think the ball comes in for some reason, all by himself. The team's not right click, roll, right click. All right, great. I think you landed basically all those. So ball dies instantly, we're good. So we're going to fast forward a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to second point, 5-on-5 situation, except the Ashe is out of position. You know the Ashe is out of position, okay? Like, you know, based on, obviously we're skipping through, but you know that the Ashe is here all alone. You have to know this, right? So your Zen dies here. You just saw the Ashe who goes to the left. Let's think about this. Ashe has no way to escape other than Coach Gun, which doesn't knock her that far. So your goal here should be to pursue and get the kill. You look to the right, and then you give up on this, despite the fact that the Ashe has to be here. whether or not the Ashe is about to coach gun, or the Ashe is just standing here, or the Ashe is coach gun up top, whatever it ends up being, you can't not look like chase down the Ashe right now with roll and magnetic. This is an easy fight to win. Plus, you actually have teammates here too. Like you 100% need to kill this Ashe, but you decide, oh, let me shoot the ball instead. This goes back to what I call object permanence, right? If the Ashe was there, 3 seconds later, the Ashe must still be there. There is no path here that the Ashe could have taken to escape, right? Either the Ashe goes to the right, in which case you would have seen her, or the Ashe goes to the left, in which case you will see her. Or she's hiding here, in which case you can find her. So just find the Ashe and get the kill. You're such a better close-range duelist than the Ashe is by a long shot. So there's no reason to not pursue this Ashe and get the kill here. Because I think the Ashe actually gets away. Yeah, she gets away. So now you could have gotten that kill right there. And this is like a basic mistake that you're making, that you need to punish people when they are out of position and make errors. And now the Ashe is alive, and that's going to be a problem. Cassidy combo kills you, you don't have roll here. I think that's reasonable because... Wait, do you roll after hearing the tire? Oh, I would not roll after hearing tire. I would save the roll because the roll gives you damage reduction and look for the tire. I would back. You hear the tire here, okay? So I would back up this way to be able to get line of sight, see the tire coming, shoot it once, right? Or ideally shoot it twice to kill it, but like shoot it once to try to get them pop early, and then when it's close enough that I'm in one-shot range, then roll and try to survive. That's the idea. Using roll now is a mistake. I think you're trying to maybe kill the Junkrat faster, but like that's not consistent at all. I would never assume the Junkrat is going to tire from someplace where I can kill him before he tires. Right, so you're going to lose that point. But for the record, you lost the point because 2 things went wrong, right? Number 1, you didn't kill the Ashe, and number 2, you died to the tire. Both of which were preventable. Right. I go up here. You got Nanod's ball here. Super low, but you're going to get a kill. So at least you trade out for this. It's fine. One thing to note here is you could have saved your Zen. So right click, roll forwards, right click, right. I roll forwards into the ball to block the shots. Right click, pop ulti, cancel it, and right click again, and that will give you a third reload for free. In which case, that's more than enough damage to kill the ball, right? So that's 900 damage right there. Even through nano, like he would have died right away, and then you would have saved the Zen. So this is another. I would say that's a pretty high level play. I'd say that's at least a mid to high diamond level play, right? And I would say prior to season 9 reset, that's probably like a low masters level play. So I think that's very hard to read. I'm just telling you that is an option that you could have used here to both kill the ball and save your Zen. All right, so you're walking up here. Yep, you got your hog in front of you. Yeah, I mean that's fine if you want to take this angle. That's fine. The thing is, I would just go in with the hog here, right? And why? Think about it. First of all, the ball is dead. So that's an enormous amount of space creating pressure that's gone. Number 2, my ball is going to be walking straight up, and ball against Ana is a very annoying matchup because the Ana has sleep, the Ana has nade, right? But if I just follow the hog's going to eat the sleep and nade from me, and if you hook somebody and they survive because he gets slept, I can kill whoever he hooks. So I think that this is not a time to off angle, this is time to just push in with your hog. You plus the hog should easily be able to kill these 2 or even these 3 heroes right now. Like, you're very, very strong situation, but you roll off, which means that the hog is now left alone here, right? He pulls the Ana. If you were here, like, you just kill this Ana right now, but instead the Ana's still alive, right? And she gets to kite away. And just now, you get an opportunity to flank. For the record, you heard Sleep Dart right there, which makes me think I might high noon here. I would high noon right now, right? Throw magnetic high noon. Because why not? Like, it guarantees a kill on the Ana at a minimum, which should be more than enough to win this, right? Now Bob goes out. And now, we're kind of in a tough situation. You nearly die here. You're waiting for healing. Thankfully, your soldier kills 2, right? But she trades out. You should tap ID healing, by the way, the X button. Because supports don't always know exactly where you are, right? But if you tap it, it gives them an icon. So, ball's back out. Obviously can't do anything right now. You're trying to keep your Zen alive. The problem is your hog's going to get purpled, run down, and die. And this fight's over. So, you had at least 3 opportunities here to change the way that this game could have gone, or this fight could have gone, right? You had 3 major opportunities here, none of which had anything to do with your aim, right? It all comes down to game sense, routing, right? The paths that you take to the fight, right? And just being focused on what is the priority for me to be doing right now. You only need to off angle if you can't run it down main. I think that's probably one of the easiest concepts to illustrate here is, let me draw again. Let me find a flat-ish background. Right? So, if we imagine there are, right? So this main road is main, okay? And this is the off angle. So if we have, our team over here, bad guys over here, right? If you are yellow over here, right, Cassidy, if you can just win by running it down main, just do that. That's the simplest, fastest thing to do. Just go forwards and win. You only need to off angle when you can't go main and win, which is a lot of situations, to be fair, right? But like if they're down multiple heroes and or down their tank and we still have our tank, just run over them. Don't waste your time taking a longer route when you could just walk forwards and kill the whole team. And that's a critical part of playing Overwatch, is having that game sense to understand what is going to happen if we do X, right? Because my read here, going all the way back to the Hog here, is that's just the solo Ana here, right? And like I can see that she's being healed by the Mercy, so like great, Hog and me can easily deal with that. That's not a problem. Just walk up here and they both die. Right? At a minimum, they give up the point, but they most likely the Ana dies there and the Mercy gets away, right? That's the read that you need to make, just from a game sense perspective, to understand what do I need to do to win fights. All right. So we're going out here. Next point. Great. The team's getting kills without me. Nothing I need to do. Just fast forwarding a little bit. Right. We got the cap now. Chill a little bit. So one thing I would note here is be careful about using roll when you don't really need roll. Like I know you're rolling to cross the gap here against the Ashe, which I understand. I would have just gone left, and then you're covered the whole way, right? And then jiggle here and be like, oh, do I need to roll here? And then roll here if I need to. Because the problem is when you roll now, your roll is on cooldown, and for 5 seconds you have no way to get away. And as we already previously mentioned, Cassidy has terrible mobility, and he has awful mobility when he doesn't have roll available. Which means when this ball engages, you have no ability to escape from this right now, right? If anything happens here, for example, they all focus you down and shoot you, or the Ashe peaks right now, you just die here and you have no options. So be careful about using roll, even though it's on a relatively short cooldown, be careful about using roll when you might be in danger in the future. Ball engages very quickly, right? Compared to like Orisa. Orisa does not like suddenly dive into you and you have no way of knowing it was coming. But Ball definitely does, right? Ball does, Doomfist does, Winston does, right? Those are heroes that you need to watch out for, how fast they engage, and you need to keep your mobility cooldowns available to make sure that you don't get caught out of position here. All right, Ball's gonna die. So right here, I pop High Noon. Why? The Reaper doesn't have Wraith, which I think you actually saw earlier. Yeah, so we saw Wraith form earlier, okay? Because the Reaper just used it right now. So the Reaper's used Wraith form, so he has no ability to escape this, right? So we're gonna do this, right? We're gonna go back. So now this is popped. You try to shoot and get back, which is fine. But now Nano is popped, and the problem is killing the Reaper through Nano is gonna be really, really difficult because I pretty much have to exclusively hit headshots. He's gonna be healed through the whole way. If I pop High Noon right now, I'm gonna kill him. High Noon does like 120 DPS, I want to say, something like that, for the first like second and a half, 2 seconds, and then it jacks up to like 250 damage per second after that. So after like 3 seconds, I'm gonna kill this Reaper with or without the Nano. Even through the damage reduction, he's still gonna die. So that's kind of my perspective here is, look, I don't have any more cooldowns here. He's being Nano, which is back to full health. He's being double pocketed by the Ana and the Mercy. Just pop High Noon and the Reaper dies here. Right? And now the Roadhog dies. See? Like that's the moment that High Noon, one of the worst ultimates in the game, this is the actual moment where High Noon would have given you massive value. It saves the Roadhog here, right? Or at minimum kills the Reaper. If you kill the Reaper here, even if you trade for the Roadhog, they're not gonna push, right? Mercy and Ana are not gonna push onto the point here. Right? Ashe is gonna light you up here, and then you're gonna die. So we've identified yet another scenario where you could win a fight just through not aim, but just better awareness of what you need to do. So I would right-click right here, because right-clicking gives you a chance of doing 300 damage, and this ball is actually pretty low. You have 0 chance of killing him with left clicks, so he could conceivably have died right here if you right-clicked him. You see, you only fired 1 shot here, he's already nearly dead. So I would just note here is that I 100% would have right-clicked him there. You also have the opportunity to roll for another right-click. Oh, I'd be careful with this pick. So this is an example. Like, you're not going to get punished for this because people at your level are just not good enough. But like, you peek straight into her crosshair, which is a body shot. Then you get hit by a headshot, and then she has 1 more shot there to kill you. You can't be doing this. I don't know if you play other FPS games, but like the idea that she's holding this angle right now with a scoped weapon, you cannot walk into this unless you know that there's some reason why she won't be able to shoot you here. Right? You walk straight into this, and she's such a better hero at range than you are, right? Because you're already at fall off distance here. You're only doing 58 damage right now instead of 70. So right there's the headshot, and then if she hits that one, that could have been a kill. So very, very lucky to not die there, right? But these are like just bad challenges. Take good fights, understand damage fall. If you don't know what damage fall is, well, I think that'd be crazy if you've been playing since Overwatch 1. But like, you need to know what your damage fall range is as Cassidy. It's 25 to 35 meters, right? And it drops from 100% damage down to 30% damage, which is basically nothing. You can't be taking fights at ranges that are bad for you and good for the Ashe. So we do High Noon here. That's fine. And obviously Ashe has no ability to do anything about it. Right? Great kill on the Ana here. It's probably one of the best shots you've made. Right? Try to go for the Ana or the Mercy. I understand here. It's like obviously a tough shot. I would probably just focus on the ball because Valk Mercy is like so hard to hit. I wouldn't go for Valk Mercy unless I have to. I'd rather just focus on the ball to allow us to start capping. Don't walk backwards in a straight line. Again, like, you're gonna get absolutely obliterated and die. Because you're like these little, and it's not aim related, right? It's like you don't respect people's aim, and so you get kind of like roll in situations where you just don't think the enemy will be accurate. There is no reason for the Ashe to miss this shot or that shot. Like, both of those shots should have been hits, and quite frankly, I think at Masters, I think at least one of those is a headshot for sure. At GM, both were probably headshots. All right, which would just be instant death. Alright, so Reaper's dead. We can be a little more aggressive right now if we want to. I would like push a little bit. Not too far, but that magnet's obviously worthless. Alright, Reaper's coming in. That's fine. Back up. Right? Back up right now. Right? Reaper got res, which means we no longer have a numbers advantage. The ball's clearly engaging. Just play back. Right? Play slow. Play back. I do not need to walk forwards. I do not need to walk forwards. This is what I'm saying is you don't need to do anything right now. You are winning the fight if you just do nothing. Just sit back, play corner, right? And just play slow here. Because there's a lot of things you need to worry about right now. You need to worry about Reaper ulti, and you need to worry about Bob, and you need to worry about Nano. All those things are things that you have not seen recently, and so you need to be worried about whether or not those can be a problem. So, again, and probably, especially for Flashpoint, like this is probably final fight territory, just play slow, okay? You going towards this ball is not going to immediately change anything. Yeah, you do more damage, but the ball is so much healthier. He's not going to die. So just focus on killing squishies, right, and really just harassing squishies. Don't worry about the ball. See, like this is a mistake. You could have been shooting the Ana while this is going on. And because you tunnel vision on the ball, you get too far forwards, and you don't realize the Reapers come over here. Your Hog really needs you to help deal with the Reaper. Because Reaper can bully Hog in a lot of situations, and Hog doesn't have Hook. Reaper 100% just bullies Hog nonstop. But you can deal with Reaper really easily. So help cover up for your teammates' deficiencies by dealing with threats that they can't deal with well. So you need to be helping, hey look, play back here, play slow, right? Work down the Reaper, back up into the point, get ready for Bob to be a problem, right? Ideally you really want to play the opposite side of the fountain because then you have more cover to use against Bob. But like, I think this whole time you should be backing up. Right? And of course you're gonna die here because you're stuck out in the open, right? Which is the same thing we talked about earlier, which is, look, you're just in the open right now, there's no cover anywhere, you roll backwards, and then you're gonna die. But this is preventable if you just don't play so far forwards. And just think about it, even if you're 1 health right now sitting in the fountain, Mortar heals you back up, great, we walk forwards, and we're good, right? We're probably gonna cap the point, right? I'd stay here, you would have been rehealed by now, I help, work down the ball or whatever it ends up being, right? Now I can go here, try to get more picks, like, the fight is winnable if you're alive, but without you, there's no way that your team can win this fight. Like, that's just really, really hard. Obviously, your soldier getting picked is, like, the biggest problem, but, like, there's nothing you could have done about that. So, final fight. I think that's an optimistic magnetic. So, I would follow this on right now. I mean, even with purple, like DM's off, I try to get the auto kill here. Like 2 body shots or 1 headshot is a kill right now, and you have still have roll. I don't know why you'd not be pursuing in that situation. I understand what your idea was. He got slept and you want to get the 1 shot. I think that realistically he's probably going to get woken up, but I understand. I understand. I don't think it's a great high noon, but I don't think it's a terrible high noon. I get a 5 out of 10. Alright, supports are clearly stuck over there. Alright. You're trying to go after the supports, which is good. I think, yeah, obviously this is a really tough angle to take this duel. So, you know, that right click is amazing. Everything else leading up to that was... But, like, Cassidy's kind of fluky, so I get it, right? You stick here. This is the moment where you really screw up. Right now, I right-click the doorway. I right-click the doorway while I run away to the side, because I know the Mercy's actually reasonably low, because I just stuck her with a grenade. But I'm so low that, like, 2 pistol shots here kills me. So she knows that, too. So she's going to be bloodthirsty and go for the kill. Right-click the doorway right now. There's a very good chance that you would have just killed the Mercy here. If you landed 3... Oh, yeah, actually, I landed 4, right? 157. You landed 4 shots, 4 out of 6, she dies right now. Which is not unreasonable at that range, right? Definitely, like, you could have gotten this kill, right? Which would have survived and killed the Mercy. Oh, and now she raises the honor. Yeah, so this is actually a 3-hero swing, right? You wouldn't die, and the Mercy and the Ana would be dead, and the Ana would not have been rezzed. So, yeah, this is like an absolutely massive play, but you could have done this with a right click. Like, it's especially considering she does not kill you instantly. Like, she takes quite a few shots here to kill you. Right? She has like, what, 4 or 5 shots? Like, it is enough time for you to fire off all 6 shots. I mean, this is just silly, right? Like, you come out here, you eat the grenade, but, like, you're frontlining right now because you, like, your tank is obviously not really able to do anything, but, like, I also need to play, like, a little bit slow because there's a lot of heroes here that can do a lot of bursty damage, and I don't have roll. If I did have roll, I can understand, right? Something happens, I hit by nade, roll back. But without roll, pushing this aggressively is crazy. And now, you feel that moment of regret. This is what I actually want to sink in on, okay? This moment of regret, right now, I'm sure you realize I have screwed up. Right? You're purple, you're frontlining right now, and you don't have roll. You must, and you're away from cover. You must realize that you have made a massive mistake at this moment in time. I will also add that you are jumping, which means you can't start walking backwards until you hit the ground now, and that's when you start walking back. Which is why you need to be very careful about jumping, right? Jumping is generally not a good idea at higher ranks, and you won't see it very often. And now you just get killed by Reaper from relatively far away because you're super low and you're not near cover. Like, this is just super sloppy. So that's 2 fights now, right? Where, again, things could have turned really, really differently. Alright, so you walk up, you've traded out a support for a DPS. Mercy's dead, great, excellent, good kills on her. Reaper coming forward, which means this is 100% going to be an ultimate. So you decided to go after the Ana, which is, I think, understandable. I don't know if anybody else is here. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would have gone for the Ana here. I think I would have gone for the Reaper, but, I mean, also, their minds behind you, and you probably didn't know what they were. I think I understand this. I think I instinctively would try to back up and try to burst down the Reaper. Because I think it's more likely we will burst down the Reaper than I will be able to go kill this Ana, and my Reaper wouldn't have killed anybody. You know what I mean? But, yeah. With that, you know, fights over. Even if you kill the Ana, though, I don't think that it changes anything. Yeah. It's still 2v1 at the point your D.Va's got no health. Okay. So, let's hold there. I think overall, again, I think your aim is not the issue, right? Which is, you know, great to be able to say. I think it's really about Cassidy's specific game sense, dueling, right? Decision making, off-angling versus going main, staying alive, that type of like Cassidy specific, like how to play the situation. Those are kind of like the big tips to stay away. But again, overarching perspective is stay alive in fights, right? You provide a really good baseline value compared to most other DPS players or heroes. So if you stay alive, it dramatically improves your chances of winning the fight. Don't try to force fights unless the fight is going against you, right? If you lost your tank, yeah, you probably need to force something right away in order to be able to turn it. But like otherwise, 5v5 especially, don't force anything. Let them kind of come to you, and then use that opportunity to like try to poke people down, stay alive, right? Get damage, look for opportunities, and you know you never know. Like one of your headshots, even if it's not a kill, can completely change how a fight plays out. All right, I'm gonna hold there. Hopefully this is helpful. I do have a bunch of my own Cassidy gameplay if you want to watch that. I don't think it's like great by any means, but it might give you some ideas. I just kind of talk through like my improvement, like what I'm thinking in terms of how to play better.